friends, we have made it to our 10th and final episode of this series. We know it's been such a crazy ride. We know there are still so many things happening in the world and in our country, and we just want to let you guys know that you are not alone.
You're not alone. We're in this together, and we would like to walk the path forward together, hand in hand. Yeah!
Yes, you guys, welcome to our 10th episode of
One World, One People,
a musical revolution. My name is Jenisa Castro. I'm an actor, a singer, a dancer, a teacher, and my goal in life is to change the world through my art. A little more about me. I'm a professional Polynesian dancer and performer of 18 plus years, a singer since the age of 6. I studied under world-renowned vocal instructors and wellness practitioners, and I graduated with a BFA in drama and musical theater from NYU.
My name is Gregg Castro. I'm a singer, songwriter, and a proud citizen of the planet Earth, and my music is all about that.
Yes, it is indeed.
A little more about me. A professional musician, singer, songwriter, and performer for 50 years, teacher since the age of 25. I performed annually at Catalina for our Luau Explosion, and my sister and I sang the national anthem for my favorite team, the Lakers. So, let me tell you about our show. It's a 10-episode weekly series, and each week we feature different guests from around the planet, and we talk about things that are important to all of us, in the hopes that we can find our common ground.
Yes, in this time it's so important to recognize that we are all human. We deal with the same struggles. We maybe deal with different struggles. We maybe deal with the same successes or maybe different successes. But at the end of the day, we are all one world, one people.
That's why we use my music, because today the world needs a message that brings us all together.
Yes, that's so true. And in addition, we are also taking donations for this episode, and 20% of those donations for each episode goes to a different organization, charity, or foundation. With 2020 close to an end, we would like to welcome in 2021 with hope, light, and love. We are combining efforts, and by December 31st, 2020, we are hoping to raise $6,000 to distribute evenly amongst and help support 10 different organizations across the nation. Additional funds are donated to us and Gregg Castro Music to help the reimbursement of our program. You'll be able to find that donation link in the description below, so please click on that link because today's organization is Alliance for California Traditional Arts. ACTA promotes and supports ways for cultural traditions to thrive now and into the future.
And today's song is Wonderland, an inspirational reminder about the wonder and the magic of life.
And today's guest is
TENELLE LUAFALEMANA,
Reggae, R&B, and pop artist.
So before we begin our show today, we would like to open our discussion with this thought. You know, it's just so easy, especially in these times before the election, to be buried in information and not knowing which way to come or go or make any sense of it. And I know one thing from my training in the corporate world, in leadership training. I know that there's an unwritten rule that all leaders learn. If you can't blind them with brilliance, you baffle them with bullshit. And so every time I hear a leader say, you know, I want to be perfectly clear about this, I know I'm going to have to get out my shovel and start shoveling shit, because that's going to be hard to get to the bottom of the truth.
With all of the information that's coming to us from the media, from the news, not all of it is bullshit, but some of it is. So we would like to give you the opportunity to really think about what our opinions are, what our choices are that we're making, and making sure we're doing our own research, making sure we're thinking for ourselves, and we're coming back to ourselves, and knowing that our choices reflect who we are.
I pray that you wake me with your love.
So you guys, we just want to let you know to watch all the way to the end of this episode today, because as this is our last and final episode, we have a little surprise coming up for you, and you'll want to hear about it because you'll want to join us.
And now introducing my talented niece, TENELLE LUAFALEMANA.
So TENELLE, thank you so much for being here today.
So welcome, guys. It's an honor to be here. I'm excited to be here.
Is that a puppy with you
I
too?
know, now I want some attention too.
Oh my God.
But I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to come on and say hello and share a little bit about my life. Okay, come on.
Well, we've our families have been a part of each other's lives for so long. Goes way back in the days of Carson. And I remember when we did Grandma's 90th birthday at Alpine Village.
Yes,
And you were a tiny little whippersnapper.
A newborn singer.
I was so young. Yeah, I was. I definitely. That was great grandma's 90th birthday party. Yeah, at Alpine Village. So yeah, I remember that day, and I actually remember it because you, Uncle Gregg, were the one that was singing and the entertainment of that party. And I remember looking up at you and being like, "Oh my gosh, you see how much he captivates people? Like you literally are, like your voice is compelling." So you were like, as the way you sang, I was compelled to you, and I sang, and I think that's a trait from you that rubbed off on me.
Oh, I love
Thank you, Rob.
That warms my heart, Tin.
Well, we had a couple questions because time, of course, goes so fast, and from the time when you were little to where you are now.
I know.
When we wanted to talk a little bit about your journey. It's so important, I think, for everybody in life to find their purpose. To to find the activity that they commit themselves to, that thing that helps them unfold their God-given talents and gifts, their service to one another. Whether you're a doctor, whether you're a carpenter, or whether you're an entertainer. And you, I think you're one of the lucky ones that found your purpose a little bit earlier than a lot of people do.
Well, I mean, with my purpose, I know that definitely with music, that is one of my purposes.
Yeah.
But my ultimate purpose is to please God, in everything that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And we go through these phases and this emotion. Sorry, excuse me, I'm trying to put this necklace on. But yeah, us as people, we all go through things. We all go through battles, whether it's drugs, whether it's abuse, whether it's mental health, whether it's there's so many things that we go through, whether it's heartbreak or depression, and I can attest that those things are real, and I've been through those things. And I mean, when it just boils down to everything, yes, music is my passion. Yes, music is my gift that God gifted me with.
Right.
And I'm so thankful that I found my purpose, and it makes me, as knowing my purpose as music, want to call out other people's purpose, and I believe that is my gift as far as like discerning.
Well, that brings up the second part of my question, because as finding your purpose and fulfilling yourself, it changes you as a person. But a lot of people feel like they're alone with that struggle. And as an entertainer, how does that decision to commit yourself to that purpose how does that affect other people?
And affect yourself in writing your music as well.
I think what just committing to it is one thing. And I think that us as human beings, we do so many things. Yeah. We're so busy and we fill ourselves with so much stuff, and like the schedule of like craziness, like this, like, you're taking on so much, and you can't even just take 10 minutes of that day to just pray or just ask God and just say thank you, So I think where I'm centered in it all is God. So I am thankful for the struggles that I've gone through that have knocked me on my face to ask God why and why am I created? Like what is my purpose? If it's not music and if I have music and I'm still depressed and I'm filling the entire world with love, but inside of me, I don't have love.
Yeah.
How I was saying that with my projects and stuff.
Right.
And, you paint this mirror image of yourself to be in the spotlight. And I mean, whether it's just island reggae music that I'm in the spotlight of, I'm still in the spotlight. And, it's like, it's a facade. It's like, it's fake, it's a mask. And so I'd rather my mask be the armor of God rather than anything else. So that's my purpose now. I'm still learning about myself. I am.
As we all are.
We all are, Tenelle, yeah.
But yeah, I definitely know that music and discernment and people is my passion. So, it's not about money. It's mostly with me. It's about me reaching people through my music.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ultimate goal. I don't care to be famous, but I know that I was created to be heard.
You could tell, or I could tell by the response, the enthusiastic response and support of all of your fans, that what you have to share is necessary for people, or they wouldn't respond that way. Mm-hmm. That it does lift people up in their quiet moments. And
again, it takes us back to this idea that music is really the universal language. We can express so much through our music, and we can fulfill ourselves with that, that higher spiritual guidance through the music. I love that, Tenelle. And that kind of does take me into my next question for you, which is about, you mentioned the projects that you were working on that felt a little bit like a facade, and you mentioned that in our previous conversation as well. So I want to hop to that question about, the difference between your album For the Lovers and This Is 10. And for our viewers who have not listened to Tenelle's music, get on that. For the Lovers, This Is 10. She has all these beautiful albums on Spotify, Amazon Music. Look her up.
So, with my music, I know that with For the Lovers, I was really, really sad, and the album did amazing, realistically, it hit #1 Billboard charts for reggae music. It hit #1 on reggae iTunes charts for months, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful high. Right. But I went through such a low in my life that I'm honestly never want to feel that feeling ever again, how low I felt. But it made me who I am, and so I was honestly singing songs about a love that was not there, about a love that we longed for, about a love that I longed for. And I was like kind of like foreshadowing, my woulda, coulda, shoulda been, you know what I mean? Yeah, I wanted that, and so, now in my life, I'm finally at this point where I'm like, this is 10, Now I know myself. I've seen my low. And I prayed, Lord Jesus, I don't want to see another low like that. Lord, please don't ever give me that low. Lord, no.
So tell us about This Is 10 now and how excited you are about it. This is
10, from For the Lovers, which was amazing body of work.
True.
But there's a lot of transition from For the Lovers, which I released 4 years ago.
Right.
And then I just released This Is 10 a couple months ago, which is more so me, the seasoned me now, and so it's everything that I was then, but it's just taking all of that now and not giving so much credit to the darkness in my life during that season, but noticing it and calling it out.
Tenelle, in listening to the music from both of those projects, the first project with For the Lovers there's this soulful cry, and it's almost a prayer. It's almost a prayer for love. But This Is 10 is a celebration of that love. Yeah. It's almost like,
it is a prayer for love. That's exactly what it was. It was a prayer. Like it was me praying to God and crying out to Him.
That gives me chills.
Forever I will be everything you'll need. You are the reason I believe. Forever I will be just what you need. You are the reason I believe in love. Forever I will be. But yeah, I'm just really, really happy now. My family's healthy. My dad is good. My mom is good. My siblings are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And if, and everybody's learning along the way of like all the struggles that they're enduring, and then they're figuring it out.
That's the key. This, it's a really perfect segue to talk about that transition for the prayer for love and then the celebration of love. The point that I was trying to make is in that journey, we talk a little bit about the struggle story for all of us. And one thing I think that our listeners don't think a lot about is one of the challenges we face as entertainers. That's the cost of fame. The cost of fame. Because the music industry, when we make a commitment to that, it's one of the craziest industries in the world. I mean, it's like a magnet. It draws the craziest people. It draws the most egocentric people. It's all about money. I shouldn't say all about, but there's so much glamour. There's so many ways for a sincere, talented musician, entertainer, sweet person to lose themselves or lose their way in this.
Right.
How do you experience that challenge?
How was that transition to you finding success with your music?
Yeah.
I honestly, I have just such a great support team. And I think that it boils down to your support team and your relationship with God. Like, I know that I keep going back to God and how important God is in my life. But if He is not centered in you, you're going to fall so far off grid. Like, and I know that that's my center. So I always have to go back to what the reason is why I do things. Even if I mess up, why I mess up and then I figure it out and I come right back. It's like, why does it all go in a cycle, And so I don't feel like I've made it yet. I honestly feel like I just got started. And that is being very, very honest. I feel like I am the best that I've ever been now, vocally, lyrically, and just personally, And so me now, it's a new me, just like God says, every day is a new day, His mercy endures in the morning. So I feel like every day I'm a new person, some days I may be feeling another way, but today I'm great. And so right now in my life, right now, like today, TENELLE LUAFALEMANA, I feel like I haven't made it yet. I feel like I'll make it when Beyonce can text me and be like, hey sis, want to have lunch? I'm like, yeah, let's go to Uncle Gregg's and go swimming. That's the TENELLE made it. When I get a Grammy, I made it. I am very thankful for where I've been and how I've got here, and that has been, me being not put on the back burner, but it was just never my time yet. It wasn't my time.
That's right.
With Cord Brown, it wasn't my time. When I was on Traveling with Common Kings, it wasn't my time. When I was managed by an awesome management company that's no longer my management company, it wasn't my time. But right now, it's my time.
It's your time. This is 10. And I just want to reiterate.
This is my time.
I just want to reiterate that message that you just put out, because I think that's so beautiful. And it's this idea of being content and patient with your journey and knowing where you're at every step of the way and growing with that. I love what you said about that. So I just wanted to reiterate that for our viewers.
No, that's right.
So Tin, we're going to hop to another topic. So we're speaking on this idea of how difficult it is in the entertainment industry, this idea of mental health, and something we also are discussing within this show as we talked about our social and political issues. So we're talking about national policy. More and more of the states within the U.S. are legalizing marijuana because they are seeing the benefits. There's a lot of scientific research that shows the benefits of CBD, the benefits of THC, the benefits of the cannabis plant in relation to things like anxiety and even physical ailments. So,
flavor.
So Tenelle, as you know, my favorite song of yours is Flavor. So we want to hop to that song.
Definitely this was going towards flavor.
Yeah.
But before flavor, I love flavor too. So, that flavor was just a song. I honestly was a little bit nervous on releasing that song with my manager then. And he's like, sure you want to do this? Like, you're kind of like, this will like make people know you smoke weed, and so, I'm like, oh shoot, well, let's just do it. And it was written with, Megan Trainor. And so I'm really super thankful for that song and my management because I would not be where I am today without that song. I would not be where I am as far as like the reach. I mean, I wish that Megan Trainor would respond to my text messages so that we could write another flavor too. But
That takes me to Neil into what do you feel about the legalization of marijuana, if you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, I feel like we should legalize it, but I think that it should still be respected, like as far as in front of children.
Right.
And,
Yes.
Just like how alcohol is, I think that there should still be boundaries as far as like, people not being just ignorant with the use of it, and the only thing I would say with the weed is the reality of money and the government and the drug world. Like, it's going to get crazy.
The other day, I'm going through Facebook, and all of a sudden I come up with, there's your picture on a mural. I think it was in West Valley in Utah.
A whole wall covered with Tenelle's face.
And I understand that the artist was a gentleman named Bill Lewis, and he used he painted your mural to represent the island of Samoa. And he had, I think it was 18 nationalities.
Isn't that amazing?
So how did you find out about that? Did he tell you he was going to do that? No?
Yeah, I was so excited, but I had all these notifications and I'm like, looking at my phone, I'm like, what the heck? Somebody just painted my face on a wall. And then I'm like, and then I read the caption, out of 17 countries.
Yeah.
Wow.
Out of 17, they chose me to represent Samoa. So I was tripping.
And Tenelle, tell us the story about you showing your dad.
I woke my dad up. So I'm like, Dad. He's like, what? He's like, oh my gosh. Somebody painted my face on a mural. Like, there's a mural of me and I represent Samoa. Like, are you kidding me? This is so cool. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. Okay, try to close my door. Yeah, it's really amazing to be a figure that represents an entire people, and it's like still mind blowing. I'm actually going to go to Utah next month to go and see it personally because I am just so thankful for it. And I'm like, what? Why did you paint me? Like, what was your, like, why me? Utah is actually one of the spots on the world that I sell out in: Utah, Seattle, Hawaii.
Oh.
And so those are like where I know that my music is reciprocated and they receive it and relate. So like just shout out to Utah, all of Utah. I love Utah.
Sweet soul, representing Samoa, of course, as we referred to in the mural, is so important. But we know that you have, multicultural descent. In your home, there's Samoan and there's Black, right? And there's the cultural blend of our country, the richness of our music, the richness of our story as people, and the compassion of our hearts comes from the mingling of cultures over a period of time to make us who we are today here in America.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lesson for all of our viewers at this time of political strife, when people want to divide us and make it just, you are not me and I am not you, but we are really all one.
On that, yeah, we're one world, one people. But on that topic, that actually takes me into our next question. Is kind of the opposite of that. Is also equally important is the awareness of the differences in different cultures and the differences and the different struggles that people go through day to day. I think is so important for people to know about. So our next question has to do with the topic that is rampant right now, which is Black Lives Matters. And I know that it's an important issue to you because we spoke about it in our previous conversation. I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about your experience and your family's experience, anything that you would like to share on that to spread awareness of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, everything in this world, it's going crazy and it's going to get crazier. And so with Black Lives Matter and with the reality that God is not present in the government or in society, and I'm trying to be not at peace with it, but call it out as far as like, yes, I have been treated unequal in many situations, whether it's class or a teacher looking at me different when I'm younger, an auntie actually treating me different because I'm half Black and not full Samoan. It's me being in certain situations like Colorado or shows where people look at me different. It's me growing up in the valley where I went to school with someone that drove around with a Confederate flag in the back of his truck. These issues have been here forever. It's the reality of my brother not being able to walk outside the house and be racially profiled as a gang member. It's the realities of like him being 6'7" and me being scared that my brother might not come home because he might get pulled over and he may be reaching for his wallet and a cop might shoot him because of the realities of the Los Angeles streets that we grow up in, and the reality of this world being so hate prone. Everything is so hate.
I know.
And even the Black Lives Matter, I just feel like a lot of people are angry, and I get it, but hate is not the way of anything to get fixed here. And I know I honestly never really spoke on it because I am Black. And it's been like this for me. So it's not like a hashtag that needs to be like seen nowadays because this hashtag lives in me, And I think people get so caught up in like, no, only Black Lives Matter because we've been the oppressed one and we've been oppressed. And I get it. I totally get it. I'm Black. Like, I totally get it. But I'm just saying, like, with I guess the tone that everybody's setting is so much hate. And it's like, it's the same tone that Donald Trump is setting with hate, and like it's just hate. And I just feel like for me, I'm just gonna be reading this right here, read the Bible, because God is a God of no color. And God's life matters. God's life matters.
That was so beautifully said, and it encapsulates what we're really doing with this program as well, which is really ultimately spreading love and spreading the joy and positivity.
And then transparency, because I know that a lot of people are going to have a lot to say about what I'm saying in the comments. And I mean, just to throw it out there, I'm saying everything in love.
Just like you said, we know what it is. We know what's going on now. The question is, where do we go from here? And you can't get where we want to go with a heart filled with hate. You just go more deeply into that problem, more into the division. You have to find some way to move forward and solve the problem with compassion, with love, and with faith.
It definitely made me proud, though. I'm just so proud to be Black. Like with this movement, I am definitely, and I'm living in LA and hearing helicopters and seeing the marches and everything. Like, yes. Like, I am so proud to be Black, and actually reiterated, like, yes, you're Samoan, but you are Black too, don't forget that, and so it definitely made me go back to my roots.
It brought me to tears when you were speaking about this idea that you're proud of where you came from and you're proud of being a Black woman in society today. I think that's so powerful because there are so many people who shy away from who they are and who shy away from their background and their cultures because they are treated differently. And I'm just so inspired to hear that. It makes me really happy.
Don't make me cry. Okay, my only 2 eyelashes come off because I only have 2 more.
So Tenelle, we want to just give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about your clothing line.
Oh man, yes, I have. I actually just finished tie-dyeing about 100 sweaters.
Oh, how
because
cool!
I am going to drop an exclusive drop in October, actually. So prayerfully everything is done. But the date is October. But however, yes. So 10 by 10 is a clothing line that is by me. I am the CEO of the company. It's called 10 by 10 Clothing Co. I named it 10 by 10 because my nickname is 10. Let's state the obvious. Also, my softball number playing was always 10.
Oh, wow.
But ultimately, it's rooted because we have 10 fingers that make up our 2 hands so that we can go and grab the blessings that God has in front of us. And we have 10 toes that make up our 2 feet. And without the 10 toes, we kind of lack balance. Yeah. And so we have 10 by 10 so that we're able to go ahead and live our life to the fullest because 10 times 10 is 100. However, we're all not 100 unless we don't live by the one person that matters, which is Jesus Christ, by his 10 commandments.
Wow.
So we aspire to be great people to live by the 10. However, we're human, and that's why Jesus came into this world. Thank you, Jesus. But 10 by 10 is made from me, for you, for us. Never me, always us. It's just a brand that literally is a statement piece as far as reiterating and reminding you who you are created.
That is so beautiful. That gives me chills.
Tenelle, is it all female fashion? Or
no, it's male. It's female and male. Yeah, I got you. I'm going to actually send you guys some stuff.
Ooh, I love it. I'm so excited for you, and congratulations on starting this new business venture.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm excited too.
And now on to more music.
So before we wrap things up, each episode features one of my songs. And we try our best to pick one of the tunes that best expresses part of the spirit of our guest, part of the message and story of the episode. And your message is so bright, your message is so inspiring, and makes me feel so good that I picked one of my songs that it's an unusually beautiful song, and it's called Wonderland. And it's all about finding that wonder within yourself.
It's based on the story of Alice in Wonderland.
But in the sense that we all are that child, looking for the magic of that world where, sometimes things get too serious, and we have to have faith, we have to have optimism, we have to have light, and we have to sometimes fall down the rabbit hole. We sometimes have to step through the mirror.
Right.
Instead of looking back at ourselves, and so it's a bright song of love.
It's also a reflection of, another reason why we picked it for you is because so much of your music is just this generation of love. And this idea that we've been talking about throughout our conversations is coming back to self and coming back to our roots. So it's really a reflection of that idea as well, coming back to your child self, coming back to who you were as a kid.
She likes my song.
I love this song, and I get to sing it too. So.
Oh, I can't wait to hear.
Wonderland, your every wish is at your command. If you only believe you can, you'll find Wonderland. where true love grows. Through the looking glass you can go, where all the world's young and beautiful. You'll find wonderland. You've been trying to see life too seriously. That's tragic. You must learn how to smile through the eyes of a child. There's the magic. So if you're wondering about Wonderland, stop your wondering and take my hand. Look with love and you'll understand. Here is Wonderland.
You'll find Wonderland.
Oh, you've been trying to see life too seriously. That's tragic. You must learn how to smile through the eyes of a child. There's the magic. So if you're wondering about Wonderland, stop your wondering and take my hand. Look with love and you'll understand. Here is Wonderland. Ooh, Wonderland.
That was beautiful. You better sing, cousin. You better sing.
I love you.
That's a beautiful song. Thank you for that.
Thank you for sharing that with us. We felt like it was one of the songs that was most similar to your kind of music.
Well,
and
and
so,
to your heart, honey.
yeah, and to your heart.
To your heart. We're so grateful to spend this time with you.
I gotta get to the studio, but I love you guys so much.
Yes.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you so much,
Love you,
Danielle, for
baby.
being here. And my mom
I
wants
love
to
you,
say
Auntie.
bye.
Come on.
Love you, Auntie. Love you, love you.
Love you so much.
Wow, my dad, we have made it through our 10th and final episode of
Ta-da-da-da-da.
One World, One People, a musical revolution.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining us on this journey. It's been so incredible learning about all these different kinds of people, learning about different experiences, different stories from around the world, and we hope that you have enjoyed this as well.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful perspective.
It is. And you know, we are also taking donations for this episode. 20% of those donations will go to the Alliance for the California Traditional Arts. With 2020 close to an end, we would like to welcome in 2021 with hope, light, and love. We are combining efforts, and by December 31st, 2020, we are hoping to raise $6,000 to distribute evenly amongst and help support 10 different organizations across the nation. Additional funds are donated to us and Gregg Castro Music to help the reimbursement of our program. And you can find the donation link in the description below. Please click on that link. We're trying to help support the Alliance for the California Traditional Arts to help keep the traditional arts alive. It's
right.
so important in our communities and in the world.
We need it.
You guys, we made it to our surprise!
Yeah.
So we are having a live stream concert performance.
That's right. And we want to invite you to our wrap-up party. We want you to come and celebrate with us. We're going to be playing songs from each of the episodes, and we're going to be featuring premiere video performances of never-before recorded original songs.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be so exciting. And in addition, you guys, we will also be featuring clips from each of the episodes, which means that each of our interviewees will also be featured in our live stream, which is so cool. We'll be talking once again about things that are important to all of us.
That's right.
And for those of you who are watching this episode for TENELLE today, she will also be featured on our live stream.
Yay!
So please tune in, you guys. It will be this Friday, October 30th, 2020 at 7 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time in the U.S.
That's right, on Gregg Castro Music. That's the YouTube channel. Yeah.
And as it is the day before Halloween, costumes are included because, like we said, this is a celebration. This is a wrap-up party, a celebration of love, a celebration of life, a celebration of us, a celebration of you, a celebration of humanity, and a celebration of Halloween.
Bring the family.
Yes, bring the family, you guys. We're so excited to have you there. And before we leave you today with our final episode, we want to leave you with a nice, friendly message here.
You know, these times require our help, our commitment. It's time to think for ourselves. It's time to take action on what we think and feel. Now is the time.
Now is the time. And that being said, as we go through our individual discovery and explorations, we also want to let you know that you are not alone. As we said at the beginning of this episode, we all go through these struggles together. We all go through these wins together. We are all human. We really are one world, one people.
Yes.
My name is Jenisa Castro.
My name is Gregg Castro.
And we are all going to walk together hand in
hand.
Hand in hand, we're gonna walk this road together, hand in hand. I'm not certain where love takes us. I know each road leads home again. That's the plan, you and me, hand in hand. Hand in hand.
God bless you all.
We love you all.